Welcome back. Our first guest is the Executive Director of the West Point Lake Coalition, Dick Timmenberg. Dick, welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
Great. Dick, how's the lake looking so far this summer?
Well, actually it's been a terrific year. The lake's been pretty much at full pool, give or take half a foot all year long. And the recreation season is obviously in full swing. West Point Lake Coalition had its 11th annual poker run back on June 19th. And that was an outstanding event, well attended. It's really become a family event that everybody looks forward to getting out on the lake during Father's Day. So that's been real good for us. And skiers, fishermen, I mean the tournaments, weigh-ins are all producing some nice sized fish and some big fish in a lot of cases. So as of right now, it's just been a great lake, and we look forward to the rest of the season here.
Great, great. And Dick, I wanted to talk about the new dock increases that are here at West Point Lake. And I know the coalition was key in helping us get those pushed through the Mobile District Office. And Dick, I just wanted to get your perspective on how that's going to affect individual dock owners on the lake.
Okay. Well, we think it's going to be a big plus for actually a lot of different parties. You know, a couple years ago, we pushed an effort to get the dock size actually pushed out from 80 feet to 100 feet through you guys locally and ultimately Mobile to allow people to get their docks out in a little deeper water. We get a lot of requests from our members that the dock size on West Point was considerably smaller than other core lakes, particularly Lake Lanier.
Right.
And so one of our board members decided to head up the committee for us, Chuck Stradcutter. And Chuck went ahead and did all of the research on various core lakes, and specifically Lanier. Well, the foot imprint at Lanier was 1,024 square feet, where our limitation here was 720 feet. So we put together a recommendation to allow for the similar footprint up at Lanier, because again, we have a lot of the same size boats on our lake, etc. And consulted with the Corps locally, with yourself and with Steve, and then put together the recommendation with Bob Chitwood's help to send it on down to Mobile. And in the long run, Mobile finally approved it, which we were confident all along that they would, but a key ingredient in getting anything approved from Mobile obviously is persistence. Yeah. And so with Chuck's help, we stuck through that. Some of the benefits now are that people, if they want to expand their docks or put in a new dock at that 1,024 footprint, now allows for 2 boats and allows for probably up to 2 personal watercraft. So more and more people have 2 boats. A lot of people now, the personal watercrafts have become so popular. You could also, if you so desired, have a little, you know, like swimming dock off to the side. Sure. So we think it's going to make the lake a lot more usable with this size footprint, and it will increase property values on the lake, and should also help the local dock builders and increase their business. So all around, we think it's a major step forward, puts our lake competitive with the other lakes on the ACF system, and we're just appreciative for everybody's support and ultimately for Mobile's approval.
Right, right. And a healthy lake is a healthy community, so I think everything really ties together and helps out quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And another thing that the coalition has been recently working on that's been a great help to the lake is lighting buoys. Right now, the entire river channel is lighted. So at night, you know, the boaters can see at night. But you're also in the process of also lighting several of the creek channels, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit more about that, Dick?
Yeah. We actually, I guess it's about 4 years ago now, made the recommendation that we light up West Point Lake at night, mainly for safety reasons. As we all know, it gets hot here, yeah. And a lot of people, far more than most people would assume, utilize the lake at night. And during times where the water level might be up or down, it's important to know where the channel is. So we received approval from Mobile to do a test where we actually, as you said, lit up the channel from George Access all the way down to the dam. And that was the most successful mega project the coalition has ever done. I think we had something like 178 responses on the core site, every one of them positive. Yeah. So with that, Mobile finally approved it on a permanent basis, and it was now time to go forward on the 3 major creeks, as you said, Maple, Wahatke, and Yellow Jacket, right, which previously had not been lit up. So the Corps contractors in the process of installing those now. When we did the first phase, the coalition invested a little over $40,000 in the solar buoy lights. And now with this phase, it's approximately another $13,000. And that doesn't include the contractors' help and everything in installing them. So it's really been a great partnership between the coalition and the Corps. And to my knowledge, this is the only Corps of Engineers lake in the country that's lit up at night. Right. So it's a much safer lake at night, and I know I hear all kinds of stories about people that actually know the lake but got caught in a storm, whatever, and it's like, man, Dick, if it wasn't for that buoy, I don't know, if I'd have found my way back, right, or if I would have avoided this particular point or whatever. So as a group, Coalition's extremely proud of that. We appreciate the partnership and the support, and as I said, it's just been a huge plus for the lake and for the area.
Absolutely, I can actually back that. When it gets dark outside, this is a completely different place.
Right,
it really is. And and like you said, it's important, especially for fishermen. I've been out here early in the morning, and you don't realize how many bass tournaments actually start before sunup, right. So these guys, they're leaving at a high rate of speed, right, to get to their fishing hole because they've got a limited amount of time and they're leaving at dark. Right. So it's a great, and safety. We always preach safety, number one, and this is great for that reason. And Dick, since I got you here, I really wanted to talk about the West Point Lake cleanup that's coming up this year. These are so important on keeping the shoreline as natural and clean as possible, and especially after last September's flood event, where contractors spent over $700,000 cleaning up the shoreline, and and there's still work out there to be done, and it's important for the community to come together and help out with these events. Dick, what can the viewers watching the show, what can they do to really help out for this event?
Okay, well, we've actually taken on what we're calling, at least for the moment, a mega lake cleanup that will actually happen March 26th, which is a Saturday, but we will probably conduct it starting Saturday for the following week. So if somebody or groups can't make it Saturday, that they can make it on a Tuesday or a Thursday, whatever. The coalition and its members will be there to provide whatever support's necessary. As you mentioned, the flood event in September, and anytime you get that kind of event, of course, water's up out of the banks, and all of the trash basically from Atlanta, on down gets picked up by the current and ends up being deposited in our lake, eventually being blown over on the shorelines. So we've got, thanks to the LaGrange Troup County Chamber of Commerce, we have the Elite Series BASS tournament next May. Actually, I think it's May 8th to the 11th. And this is a huge event which will expose our lake nationally and even internationally with TV coverage and so on. So we obviously want the lake looking as good as it can possibly look. And with all the trash out there, we really need this mega effort. So our goal is to recruit at least 1,000 volunteers. Wow. And we would hope that we will get teams from all the local businesses, from the schools, church groups, sports teams, you name it. We're going to go after everybody. And with your help, we will have all of the sites previously identified. So we'll be able to send people to a designated site and know that when all is said and done, we got the whole lake or the biggest part of the lake once we're finished. I'd also like to throw in, we can certainly use any corporate sponsors, and of course, we've already had some preliminary meetings, and Wendy's out on the Parkway is owned by Matt Van Papillon. He's already committed to put $2,500 in for our efforts in terms of supplies, gas, whatever we may need. And as Matt always does, he's agreed to feed everybody that day,
That's
too.
Always a plus.
Right. So we're hoping that the other businesses in the community will jump on board, either financially or with manpower, so that we can really get the lake looking tall by next May.
Okay, great. And I guess as the event comes closer, we'll have maybe things in the newspaper telling people how to get involved and that sort of thing?
Right, absolutely. We're still in kind of the preliminary planning stages now, but there will be a tremendous amount of publicity. We think the local businesses will be hearing from the chamber in terms of what they can do. Probably one of the biggest needs we're going to have is for pontoons to transport volunteers to areas where you can't get to by land, but certainly where the trash has been able to arrive and accumulate. If anybody in the meantime, the coalition number is 706-884-5916, and feel free to leave me a message. I'll get back with you. And again, we're going to need a tremendous amount of help. We're not going to be able to pull this off without a strong community-wide effort. And we're hoping in the typical LaGrange troop and Valley fashion that everybody steps up to the plate here.
Yeah, that's great. You know, and like I said before, what's good for the lake is really good for the entire community. So, and especially with this huge bass tournament coming, going to be on ESPN, that's going to be a great economic boost to the entire community. So, we really do. This is a very important project. So, if you are able at all, make it out to the lake. Like I said, we're going to be hearing a lot more about this as it becomes closer. But this would be a great opportunity for everyone to help their community. And Dick, I thank you so much for coming. You know, you had some really good stuff, and I appreciate that. And I thank you for all your continued work that I'm sure you're going to be doing for West Point Lake.
Hey, I enjoyed it, Rocky, as always. It was a pleasure. And again, we just enjoyed a partnership that we got with the Corps as our mission is, promote and protect West Point Lake.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Dick, that's all we got for now. But thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Good deal.